Joining us here on The Scoop is actor, writer, singer who has been in over 40 stage plays and 1,200 theatrical shows, toured with Tyler Perry. You've seen him on BET's Let's Stay Together and a ton of other movies and shows. He's been featured in GQ, Elle Magazine, and has been named by Ebony as one of the top 50 most eligible bachelors in the country. Help me welcome to The Scoop, Mr. Christian Keys. Ow!
Thank you very much.
So excited to have you on, Christian. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem. Thank you guys for having me.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I am actually just leaving the gym. Got to get some dinner and study tonight. I got an audition, 10-page audition tomorrow. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you got a busy night ahead of you. All right. So,
yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, congratulations in advance on that interview. We'll go ahead and speak that into existence for you, or that audition.
Amen.
Rather.
Thank you.
All right. So we're coming off a Super Bowl weekend. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Or what team were you?
Of course.
For? Who were you going for?
I wanted Cameron to win, honestly.
Yeah.
But I said all along that if anybody was going to beat them, I was okay with Denver doing it because Peyton's on his way out. So, I figured if it was going to happen, it was going to end up being Peyton anyway. So I was okay with that.
All right. Cool. So we'll just go ahead and get into the interview. We just want to know a little bit about your background. How did you get started in the entertainment industry? Like, when did it all start for you?
I've been acting for 16 years, so I think it started off doing some modeling in Michigan, and that kind of branched off into doing some local stage plays and some local commercials, and then finally, touring the country with different plays, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger the harder I worked at it, the bigger it got.
Right. That's awesome. Okay, well, congratulations on the
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And congrats on the new release of your novel. You've written and published your second novel. Your first was Ladies' Night. So what inspired you to become Christian Keys, the author?
I've been writing forever. I've been writing since I was 12. So
right.
It was, it was always something that I was passionate about. I just never really told anybody about it. But I was talking with Carl Weber, my publisher, and he's 18 New York Times bestsellers. So, it was simply a matter of, him approving the script. When we were talking about Ladies' Night, I said I had a really good story, and the script is already written, and I asked him to read it to see if there was enough there for me to build it out into a novel, and he told me there was. And so, we did that. And now I'm taking scripts that I've already written for each one of my novels and building it out into, script that I've written and building it out into novels. So that way, the script is already done. That way, once the book does well, I can take it to the studios and, go get a budget.
Nice. All right. And, okay, so tell us about Dr. Feelgood, which is being described as sexy, it's heartfelt, it's funny. So give us a scoop. What's that all about?
Let me see. Dr. Feelgood is a bit of a romantic comedy, if you can imagine that in a book. Mm-hmm. It's about Dr. Philip Gooden, hence the wordplay feel good.
Right.
He's a therapist, and he helps people with different things, going on in their life, and he also hires his best friend, who's also a therapist, but who's really irresponsible. Like, this dude is always trying to sleep with the hot patients. He's updating Facebook and Instagram and playing video games and PlayStation or whatever during the session when he should be, helping these people change their lives. So, Phil's got to deal with that and kind of supervise him all the damn time and, keep him in line, as well as, help all these other patients. Some of them are crazy, some of them are funny, some are weird, some of them are angry. And then he's, also struggling to pull his love life back together because he's fresh off a failed engagement. So it's a lot going on. There's a lot of characters in this to love, and there's a couple of them to dislike, and, a lot to root for. It's a really good story. It's funny. People are laughing. Some people are like, I laughed, I cried, it was surprises, and I learned stuff, So I'm getting a lot of really good feedback from the book.
That's awesome. Are there any similarities between you and the main character, Dr. Gordon?
I would say, well, other than that's me on the cover of the book, I would say, you know, that inkling, that longing to help people,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing, and being that friend sometimes that has been through a little more, so I end up, you know, kind of giving advice about a lot of stuff sometimes. So I guess in those terms, and how Phil just really wants, you know, that one amazing relationship, you know, that one, it doesn't have to be perfect, just perfect for him, and that's kind of what he's striving for. So I guess we're alive in those ways. We're like,
Right. Okay, that's great. So do you often pull from your own personal life and your personal experiences and kind of pour that into your novels?
not really. I try to, you know, create fiction occasionally. Like if I have like a terrible dating story or something, I might sneak one of them in there and then just change the name. You know, but other than that, you know, I try to, you know, just create fiction in that way. It's just, you know, it's a character I can build, and he's not tied to anything in particular.
Got it. Got it. And so I just want to move right along into your new TV project, Saints and Sinners. Yeah, that's really exciting. So you're a part of a cast on Saints and Sinners that's actually, in my opinion, pretty special because this is Bounce TV's first original dramatic series. And you're going to be, so that's really cool. You're going to be working with Vanessa Bell Calloway, Clifton Powell, Richard Lawson, and a lot of other accomplished actors and actresses. So what was that experience like? And you guys filmed in Atlanta, right?
Yes, it was great too. You know, Richard Lawson is a beast. You know, Vanessa Bell Calloway, love her to death. Clifton Powell, Keith Robinson from Dreamgirls.
Right.
Who else is in that? Jasmine Burke is in that. J.D. Williams from The Wire, he's a beast. Gloria Rubin, she works all the time on a bunch of different TV shows. And then, let me see, you know, some of the guest stars and recurring characters are amazing as well. David Banner, you know, he ends up being, you know, he's the priest on there, and he's very good. Erica Campbell from Mary Mary, you know, she does a guest star episode or two. Kelly Price does a few episodes with her singing self. So we got, you know, that's some really, really good singers in there, and you know, the storyline is good, and you know, it's gritty. It's like if you picked up the show Scandal and set it inside a church, that's pretty much what it is. So it's a really good, really surprising, unpredictable show, and I can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. I watched the trailer and it was really juicy. So I'm super excited to see
And
it.
Christian, doesn't your new season, it premieres Sunday, March 6th, right?
Yes.
What can we expect from that?
What can you? Well, like I said, definitely some surprises and some gritty things going on. It's not, you know, your polished, safe show concerning the church. You know, it talks about how some of the shady characters in the neighborhood have their hand in the church. How, you know, the politicians in town are involved with the church. How the church may be handling money in areas properly and maybe mishandling it in others. It shows, you know, some of the shade that goes on in the church with different relationships. This person sneaking over with this person, and yeah, it's crazy.
That
but it's you know, it's
sounds
very interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna stir up some controversy for sure. What about your character,
Oh, yeah.
Levi? Like, what is Levi shady or
What's he like?
is
Levi's a good character, but he, you know, I got dirt on my hands too.
uh-oh.
In the show, I just came back home to Cyprus from New York. You know, I'm kind of in trouble. My character's in trouble with the SEC for doing some insider trading on Wall Street.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so it's like we start off the show and I'm in trouble. So, which is good though, because I don't want. It's more of a challenge to me, and it's more interesting to play characters that you know have some conflict and have some stuff they got to work through. You know, it makes you have to fight a little more to find them, and it makes it more interesting for me and more fun for me. So, and nobody wants to see somebody that's just, you know, Mr. Perfect. I don't want to play those Mr. Perfect characters. I want to be flawed a little bit, you know, have made some mistakes and have to earn the viewers trust and respect and love back. I'd rather do that. And that's kind of Levi. You know, he's trying to redeem himself, you know, come home and do right, and still tired of that situation back in New York, and then he's going through divorce, you know, and he's got a daughter, so he's staying active in her life, you know, having to seal up everything with the soon-to-be ex-wife. So it's a lot going on for my character, and just in general, like everybody will have, each character will have like 2 or 3 or 4 things going on in their life that are huge, and it's a lot. It's a lot, but people will not be disappointed at all.
I'm super excited about that. And you kind of mentioned like you not wanting to stay in the good guy role, but what do you do like to prepare for your roles and to fully get into character? Like what did you do to prepare to get into the world of Levi?
Well, just for the most part, you know, I read through the script and tried to find it, because a lot of it, the writers and creators, you know, they put a lot of it on the page, and so it makes it easier when the character is pretty much right there on the page. And then, you know, the more as an actor I get out of the way, the easier it is to find the character and find what's going on with him, and you know, the kind of issues that he has, and then you can find what's not on the page. You know, you can find some interesting things about the character that aren't there, and you know, kind of develop them to bring them to light, habits, quirks, little mannerisms, little you know, little things like that help make that person real. So just that, you know, just and you know, read through it, studied it. I grew up all over the church, so you know, I'm familiar with that side of it. So, and then I had worked with Clifton on a bunch of stuff. I worked with Keith Robinson before. I worked with Richard Lawson before. So, you know, coming in with such a talented group of actors, you know, you got to bring your A game. So that was, you know, I was already focused.
Yeah, I know you were ready for that. That's great. I'm excited to see it. So speaking of like all the people that you've worked with, as it relates to your music, you've performed like with some big names like Brian McKnight, Shirley Murdoch, David and Tamela Mann, Anthony Hamilton. That's just a few people. But what are some of your musical influences?
I mean, honestly, just I love great music. You know, I came up on Stevie and Michael and Prince and Luther and a lot of cats that you only really have to say their first name, Whitney. And,
right.
You know, just phenomenal people. But then I also, once I got a little older, I started branching out and listening to not just R&B and not just soul, but I also started listening to Frank Sinatra and some rock and roll and heavy duty hip hop. So I get influences
from
musically
everywhere.
from everything. I love ratchet trap music. I love it. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I can't help it. It's in my blood. So.
That's funny. So when you were like, I know you said you started writing at the age of 12. Like, what made you start writing? Like, what triggered that? Because you wrote your first song at 12, right?
I was in foster care, and there's paper and pencil around, so a lot of times it's about all you got, not no toys. So it was easy to create, and to be honest, with writing, you could kind of create a world. Maybe you're in a foster home that isn't so great,
right?
And with paper and pencil, you can create a world that things are really nice in.
That was your escape.
And yeah, it was just like a nice way to, kind of get away from the real world and the reality of living in these foster homes and group homes that I didn't want to be in. So, and then it just became a steady go-to means of escape and a means of comfort and a means of getting away from me. So it was nice. And then, the older I get, the more experience I had, life experience, it was better to, I just kept writing and it kept getting better, and then more opportunities began to present themselves. And here we are. I'm probably 8 or 10 movies in, 2 novels in, 5 or 6 TV shows in, and probably 100, 150 songs. So I've been writing for a while.
That's awesome. So speaking of your songs, I know that you have a pretty new song out called "Together We Are Love," and I wanted to kind of just snippet it just a little bit for our listeners. So I want them to go out and buy it, if that's okay with you. Can we just play
Please,
like a?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs, you
I-
know, because it's a new one, but I love it. I recorded it in hopes of getting it into the Think Like a Man 2 soundtrack, and by the time I had submitted it, they had already, you know, locked in all the
They already
music.
locked it in.
But you know, I really, really liked the song, so it's going to be in the Preacher's Son that comes out soon, and it may be in Saints and Sinners as well. I submitted it, so if they pick it for Saints and Sinners, they may play that in the show as well. So we shall see.
All right,
So
awesome.
please play it. Please play it. Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna play it actually right now, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
All right, hold on
We'll be
one
right
second.
back on the scoop.
You and me like it's supposed to be. Together we are love. Possibly for eternity. Together we are love. With you is where I wanna be. Together we are love. Together we are love. Together we are love. We are love. I love you. Like the prayers and Michelle. Like Jada and Will. Like J and B. Is it cool if I love you like that? Like the prayers of Michelle. Like Jada and Will. Like J and B. Is it cool if I love you like that, baby? You and me like it's supposed to be. Together we are love. Possibly for eternity. Together we are love. With you is where I wanna be. Together we are love. Together we are love.
I like Christian. That's sexy. I like that song.
Together we're love.
Christian,
Yeah, I'm here.
I love that.
I'm glad.
Are we
Thank you.
Definitely a sexy song. So where can people find your music, and where can they buy it?
It's on iTunes actually. You can folks have an iTunes account, so you can go to iTunes. I have that song and about a dozen other ones there available. Usually, you know, they're of the slower kind. It's probably one of the faster ones.
Yeah.
But you know, a little love song. You know, an occasional little bit of bedroom music or something tasteful but sexy, and you know, ballads and just the kind of music that I wanted to make. You know, so you'll hear some of my influences in there. You'll hear, you know, that I grew up on Babyface and Blind Night. You'll hear
You'll hear that in your
some
music.
Prince and Mike and Maxwell influences and some Luther and some, you know, you're going to hear a little bit of that. You know, I'm not comparing myself to any of them, by the way. But, you know, you'll hear that they influenced my development as a musical artist.
Awesome. And then you wrote that song, Gonna Love You. That was dedicated to your son, Christian Jr., right?
Yes.
That was
That's so
so
sweet.
sweet. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the video too. So you're obviously a very hardworking man and a very hands-on father. So what is it that you hope to teach and show your son, Christian Jr., about life? Like, what's most important to you to instill in him?
I just want to show him more than anything that you can make mistakes and not be the sum of those mistakes. Like, you know, that I love him no matter what. I don't expect him ever to be perfect. You know, I just expect him to do his best. And when you do make a mistake, you know, accept responsibility, you apologize, you make it right, and you move on. That even if you go through some hard times, some hardships, you can still do every single thing that you want to do. You know, I came up in foster care and group homes and all that, and I get to act for a living and, you know, travel the country and do book signings and meet incredible supporters and fans and host parties and, you know, do TV and film, and it's amazing. So, you know, there's no limit on what you can do if you can actually picture it in your mind and you get the vision. I feel like that's God's kind of GPS to say, you know what, if I give you a vision for something, that means that I'm gonna make it available to you if you put the work in. Exactly. And then at that point, it's up to us. So I want him, and I remind him, you know, regularly that that's what it is. You know, if you want to do something, go do it. He's already started. He's written a couple songs already.
Wow, really?
What?
Yeah, when he was 11, he wrote his first song, and it was dope. I wish I had written it. It was really dope.
Oh, you wish you would have
Are
read
you
it.
gonna put it out?
I was like, man, but you know, that's
Like,
my
it
son,
sounds
so
like
I don't want to go, you know, before his joint. I'd rather, pay for somebody to put a track together for him, and then because he sings as well. So if he wants to, maybe this summer I'll get a little studio time and let him record it, and help him kind of through that process, and
Oh, that's
and we'll make it happen.
fun. Oh, I'd love that. I'm sure he's looking forward to that.
Yeah. So I'm been in the corner on having to deal with all of that. Him having an Instagram page and him having Facebook and all of that.
Oh, so you let him
Dear
have that.
Lord.
But do you monitor it?
No, he's about to have them. He's about to have them now. I wanted to make sure that he could be responsible enough. You got to be careful because there's a lot of predators out there. There's a lot of weirdos who trying to slide in your DM and, hey, don't tell your mom and dad, but come meet me at the library.
Right.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Right.
So you just got to be careful as parents. It's all the things that's going on in the country. The sex trafficking and the kidnapping and just everything. It's crazy. So I wanted to make sure that. And at 7th grade, it's not a big deal. You see your friends every day. Who are you going to follow other than them?
Right.
So you see them every day. So I think at the end of the school year, I'll let him go ahead and get the Facebook and the Instagram. But I will be on daily to make sure there ain't no nonsense going down. Ain't going to be I'm disabling the DMs. Ain't going to be no DMs. Ain't nothing going down in the DM. So,
it's not going down in the DM.
Not with my son. It ain't going down in the DM.
That's funny. Love that. Love that. So here on The Scoop, Christian, we focus on relationships and love. So wanted to ask you, what are some of your relationship do's and don'ts and deal breakers?
I say deal breaker. First of all, it's just communication. You can't expect a man to guess. If we're, and I've dealt with this before, that's why I can say it. If we're dating and I ask you what's wrong, it's because I want to know. It's because I actually give a damn.
Right.
So tell me what's wrong. Don't make me get on nothing, but you huffing and puffing and got an attitude.
Right.
I'm not
I roll.
This ain't the Psychic Friends Network. I ain't got Dionne Warwick over here sitting next to me to help figure it out. Open your mouth and say what the problem is. That way we can talk about it like adults. Like some dysfunctional people feel like they have to have an argument and then, then have the makeup and then have to get the makeup oven and all of that. How about we could just let's have a pretend fight and skip straight to the other good stuff.
Right.
I'm not fighting and arguing over nothing petty and nothing silly.
Right.
I'm not doing it. At this point, I'm grown, and I'm not going to do it. If you're around me and you act like you don't want to be around me, then guess what? You won't ever have to worry about being around me again. Period. Actions speak louder than words. I'm a grown man. I move and groove just like one, and that's that. So people talk you to death, but what they do is really indicative of their personality and their intentions, and I go by that. So a lot of times people can be mad at you for having the audacity to see them who they really are, and they can be mad all they want, but I'm not going to waste any time with somebody that expects you to play the game that everybody else has to play. I'm me, and I don't have to play that game. I'm grown. I know how to say what I want, say what I mean, and mean what I say. But what I'm not going to do is sit around playing games and all of that. I'm grown.
All
so
right.
those are my pet peeves. Yeah.
You said, so that's your deal breaker, lack of communication.
Yeah, lack of communication and the games.
The games. Yeah, the mind games.
If you into me, act like it. I'm going to act like it. I'm not going to sit and pretend. I'm not going to do all that. I'm saying, hey, you know what? I like you. Can we keep in touch?
Right.
I'd like to call you. I don't need no pickup lines. The truth is the best pickup line you ever approach a woman with.
Amen
You say, hey, you know
to
what?
that.
I think you're attractive. If you're single, I'd like to call you. Bottom line, yeah. And why you want to call me? Well, to see if we have anything in common and see, maybe we can grab lunch or dinner, drinks or something, whatever. If we have a good conversation, we'll catch a movie and dinner sometime this week or whatever. But you just be honest. For me, that's the easiest thing to do. I'm not trying to have to remember a whole bunch of lines and lies and all of that stuff. So as long as it's respectful and I'm thinking it and believing, I'm saying it.
Yeah, that takes a lot of energy to have to do all that. So
yeah, I got time for that.
Yeah. A lot of silliness. Okay, so what advice can you give ladies that are looking for Mr. Right?
I would say this. I would say, one, we all, I won't just say ladies, I say, just us in general, people in general, we got to kind of trim down that list a little bit, that list that the perfect being. There is no perfect person.
Right.
Only one was Jesus. He's not on earth anymore. Real talk. So it's, I can't sit around here. I'd be foolish to sit around here and say, well, she's got to be this tall and this skin complexion and these measurements and this, that, and the other. And that's dumb, because then I'm leaving out the possibility of meeting my soulmate because she doesn't meet this physical criteria that I've set, like a
Right.
So I would say, dispel or dispense of some of those requirements, that list where you got to be 6'6", you got to have a six pack, you got to have at least six figures cash in the bank. You got to have this, you got to have that, you got to be a G in the bed, he's got to be this. Well, I'm that, so I got that covered. But just we're gonna be clear about that. But,
I gotta be clear. I make that clear.
and y'all have seen the pictures of my son, so you know how I work out.
Right.
Yeah, I made that. I did that. But I would just say, just being serious. So I would say, the expectations. Know your worth, but don't set your expectations based on a bunch of physicality, because physicality can change. If the person isn't a dope person, if they're not an amazing human being, if their spirit isn't beautiful, all that, the six-pack fade.
It goes away.
Eventually, they fade a little bit. 50, 60 years old, just be happy with a flat stomach. Ain't gonna be no six-pack when you're 55, 60. Just nice, good flat stomach, and active, and you can still keep up, that kind of thing. But we gotta stop, these ridiculous expectations of perfection. And I think with the fellas, it's the same, because, we on Instagram, we see, the Instagram models, the chicks that, they in boy shorts every other day,
right.
Taking quote unquote fitness pics,
showing it all
and then
off.
it's showing their backside, and then they selling protein powder, and that's their job, and then they get a ball player, and that's the recipe now.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Get naked on the gram, get 100,000 followers, sell protein powder,
and you're doing it, and you are successful.
And diet tea, sell tea and protein powder, and then and get a ball player.
Right.
Or get Rick Ross, or get a whatever.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, because now we got all the young girls striving to do that. Substance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Be a boss. Be your own boss. Don't come to the table looking to see what the dude got. Talking about, well, he got to bring this to the table and that to the table. What do you bring to the table other than your slim waist and your nice surgically enhanced butt? You gotta bring something better than that to the table. I don't care how cute you are, how little your waist is, how great your backside is. If you're not delivering something else to the table, personality, some spirituality, your own drive, your own business, generating your own finances.
Yes.
So you're not depending on me, but adding to what we could possibly build together. Then we can talk.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just, these curves, these butt shots that I just got, that'll get me a dude. No, it'll get you a dude, but it won't be the guy that you're supposed to end up with for the next 40 years.
It's not going to be lasting.
Yeah.
Amen.
And Christian.
Go ahead, Christian. Pastor Keys.
Christian.
Yeah, well, don't be surprised if in another 10, 15 years, y'all see me with a little church somewhere.
I know, you're so passionate. I love that.
And Christian, I just have to ask.
Oh, Linda has a question for you.
I just have to ask, as I'm blushing, and Ashley, don't you hold me back.
Okay.
Don't hold her back.
Christian,
I won't hold her back.
Don't hold me back. Christian, will you be my Valentine?
Uh-oh.
And don't you break my little heart. It's as
Wow.
small as my height. Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's tough. That's tough because one, you're so far away. Two, I am single, so I don't really have a Valentine for the record.
Well,
But it is, to be honest, I will probably spend Sunday studying, because I know I got an audition next Monday, or I may be filming something, who knows. So I'll probably spend Sunday studying, relaxing. I might go hike, and I'll probably be watching Walking Dead that night with a glass of red wine with my feet up.
Amen to that.
Otherwise, I'm hurt and flattered. I can like be your virtual Valentine or something. I can send you a message on Valentine's Day.
You guys can FaceTime.
Well, let's do this. I know you're busy. Let's role play a little, just a little. Let's say you asked me out on a date. How would you ask me, and where would you take me?
I don't know you. Wait a minute, hold on. See, we can't virtual role play because I would have to know who I'm asking before
Okay.
I know how I would ask it. I would have to know the person is what I'm saying.
What if I said, honey, do you like me to do the manicure, pedicure for you, honey?
She does your nails.
Let's say I did your nails.
Christian.
Where would you take me?
Then first to the bathroom. You can wash your hands.
First to the bathroom.
Cleaning my damn toes. First, let you go wash your
So
hands.
you would accept it.
Antibacterial gel or something.
You would accept that Valentine's.
No,
Linda is
actually,
so
what's funny is I got a gift a while back, and I still have to use it because I normally, take care of all that stuff at home by myself, just keep everything clean and all of that. But I think this week I may actually go take the they got a what's it called, hammer and nails or something. It's a men's. They do men's toes and feet and all that stuff.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I think I'm gonna go get everything.
Yeah, that would be a nice
freshened
treat.
up, I guess. Yeah, I got man hands. I lift weights without gloves, so my hands are big and rough.
It's okay. I like man hands. I like man hands.
Linda's ready. Linda's so ready.
I'm just kidding.
Good Lord. All right.
Let her be great. Let Linda be great.
I know. I'm not going to hold her back. So, Christian, so you speak candidly about your childhood experiences and
Yes.
maybe not having the most stable home environment. How did you end up healing from all of that to become the man that you are today? You have surpassed some crazy things. So what shifted for you?
To be honest, it's just grace. It's just the grace of God. I'm a cussing Christian, so yes, you heard me cuss earlier in this interview.
I'm a
but
cussing
I will also
Christian. That's okay.
Tell you right now, I'll tell you exactly who's making these blessings happen, making these things happen. I got my book deal from responding to a Facebook message.
Wow.
If that's not God, I don't know who is.
Yeah.
So yeah, the matter of fact, 1, 2, 3, the last 4 films I got were from responding to that same Facebook message. So it's literally just Carl Weber had posted something on his Facebook page and said, who you guys think should play this part in this, in this book if I adapt it to a film or a show. And everybody kept saying me, they kept saying Christian Keys. And every time somebody mentioned me, I got a notification. So I'm like, why is my Facebook going ham today?
Right.
And so I went and saw what the thing was. And I went to his page and I said, hey, hell, me too. I think I would be a good fit for it too. And so Carl hit me up and we started talking about it. And he sent me the material over. I read it and loved it because he's a heck of a writer. And we started talking about that, and that project fell through. It got pushed back, but we end up filming The Man in 3B, The Preacher's Son, The Choir Director, and No More Mr. Nice Guy because of me responding to that. And matter of fact, I was able to connect him with Tri-Destin Studios. They're really good friends of mine. They blessed me with a lot of work. They're an amazing Black-owned studio here in LA, and they just run stuff like the big boys. And they're going to be one of the big boys very, very soon. They're well on their way. So I plugged him with them, and they shot those 4 movies for him. So it's it's just all that from responding to one Facebook message. So to answer your question, it was God, it was grace, it was favor, and the more humble we are, and the more we appreciate that grace and that favor.
Yeah, I was going to say you have such a humble spirit. That's what I think. That keeps that grace rolling in and staying thankful. So you definitely.
And people seem like they're ashamed to say God did it sometimes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they thank everybody in the production company. They want to thank everybody. I want to thank my mom and my agent and my PR person. And God need to be in there somewhere.
Right,
He
absolutely.
need to be in there
He
somewhere. Whoever
needs to be
you
at the
call
top.
God needs to be in there somewhere because He woke you up every day that you
Amen.
were filming that movie, or every day that you were
Amen.
writing that, or every day that you were on the radio.
Mhm.
So, I feel like, I'm not going to stop saying thank you. It's just, it's in me. So, I appreciate it. I ain't going to, be full Tim Tebow on y'all and just, every word out of my mouth. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Because sometimes that'll turn people off. But I will make sure that y'all know good and doggone well that I know who is
Where
doing
your
this.
blessings come from. Amen to that. So you're obviously a very passionate person. And
Yeah.
I love that. And you've been passionate about a lot of the issues that have affected our national and global community. But most recently, you've taken like such a passionate stance on the Flint water crisis. So tell us about some of the wonderful work that I've seen you do to help out the people in Flint, Michigan, which is your
Well,
hometown.
when I first heard about it, I didn't believe it. Like, I didn't think they were lying. I couldn't believe that they could do this.
Right.
I grew up in Flint, and I knew the Flint River, it smells a little weird, and it's murky, and like, why would you guys, to save a couple dollars, to keep from having to pay Detroit for their water, why would you instead substitute the clean Detroit water that's acceptable, that's cold and delicious? You can't drink LA water.
Right.
Michigan water off the tap you can drink. You used to be able to.
Yeah.
And it's cold, it's good. And that was one of my favorite things about growing up. You went out to the side of the house and cut the sprinkler on the garden hose or something, and you in heaven. You let it run for a couple seconds, get a little dust off the edge of the garden hose, and you good.
Right.
You drink till your stomach hurt. And to see that they're struggling like that. When I was in Atlanta, I met a young brother named Alex, and he owns a couple of semis. And he organized and he allowed me to help with their program. And they're about to do it again. But last month, we were able to send about 100,000 bottles of water up to Michigan, up to Flint, Michigan. And they had another crew up there handing them out. So what I'm trying to do is either in March or April I want to get up there and take some by hand and deliver it. The city's good to me. I had a lot of some of the wildest, roughest stuff in my life happen. I was shot at a few times in Flint.
What?
I was jumped in Flint.
What?
I lost my virginity in Flint. I had my first beer in Flint. I grew up in Flint. I'm a Flintstone through and through. I was born in Detroit in Henry Ford Hospital, but I grew up and became a man in Flint, Michigan. So the city's been good to me. So anything that I could do, and I try to bring constant awareness. I was just reminding them today. And we're going to have to keep reminding people because as soon as it stops becoming cool to make Flint a priority and to donate to Flint, that people are going to move on to another cause.
Something else.
And we're still going to be, sitting here trying to get families water and families wipes and families filters that actually work. The government has given them these filters, but that water that's coming out of the filter is still unhealthy. They measure it. They tested it on camera, and it's still 3 or 4 times past the legal limit of the contamination. So if they're passing out these filters and you still can't cook with it, still can't drink with it, still can't bathe with it, then what is the point?
Right.
They need to either they need to relocate all those people because that was a state decision. They need to hold that governor responsible. Today he decided, Governor Snyder, he decided that he wasn't going to testify, and they should make him testify because it was his decision, and he knew for the last 2 years, at the very least the last 2 years, that this was a possibility, but they kept lying to people saying, no, the water's safe, the water's safe. I guarantee you, at his house, he wasn't drinking that water. He wasn't getting that
Definitely
water. I
not.
bet money on it.
Yeah, definitely not.
So he was probably living right outside of the city, somewhere in Fenton or somewhere in Swartz Creek or somewhere, and they have a different water system. Don't get the Flint water. So I guarantee you his family's fine. And for them to intentionally do that, it pisses me off. I'm mad about it. We're going to see the fallout from this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. You got 3 and 4-year-old kids that haven't even started speaking yet because of developmental disabilities that
Yeah.
lead poisoning caused.
Yeah. It's a
And
serious.
it makes me mad. It really makes me mad. And they're downplaying it. And what's bad is that, and I love everybody, black, white, brown, Latino, Asian, you name it. I got love for them.
Right.
The bottom line is that this was a small white town of 50 or 100,000 people. There would be a national outcry.
You're
And
right.
ground would be broken already. They would already be digging up those bad pipes because it doesn't matter now if they put clean water through those corroded pipes. The lead is exposed already. The corrosive chemical they use to treat the Flint River, the chemical is so strong that it burned through and exposed the lead in the pipes, all of the pipes. So every pipe you can think of. The pipes in the school that the kids use to drink out of in the water fountain, the pipes that run to the sink in the locker room so they can't take showers after gym class. You know what I'm saying? That the pipes in the nursing homes and the old folks' homes and retirement communities, they can't use the water. The families that make $20,000 a year collectively, or $30,000 or $40,000 a year before taxes, they can't use the water, and they can't afford to keep going to get water like that.
Right.
And they can't afford baby wipes. They can't afford water to go make baby formula or to cook with or to bathe with. And you're getting rashes and different stuff, man. I'm just so pissed off the way they're handling it. And the government, Obama went to Detroit and he spoke on it, but ain't no truck moving.
Right.
They delivering, what they need is this. They need a system set in place. They need a dedicated budget set in place and a small personnel staff, maybe 30 to 40 people that they pay from a state or government stipend that will go around weekly and pass out water and wipes to these families. They should, and what's crazy is they're trying to make these families pay their water bills for the last 2 years for this poisonous water. There's no way in hell you should be charging a family $1,000 for poisonous water because they're refusing to pay it. They can't do anything with the water, so why the hell would they pay it?
Right.
And then when they refuse to pay it, the water company comes, they shut the water off. If the water is cut off the house, then the city will come and condemn the house, evict the people, and or take the kids because they're saying that it's not a safe place for them to live.
Oh my gosh. It's just
So
like,
it's bigger than just water. Like, it's affecting the whole entire lifestyle of this city. And you're talking tens of thousands of people. It's crazy. So it's way bigger than what they're letting you know. And the city is, like I said, if you don't pay, I know dozens of people with $1,000, $1,200 water bills.
wow.
And they're refusing to pay because they shouldn't have to. You give me poisonous water, I shouldn't have to pay.
Right.
If my cable bill, if my cable isn't on all this month, I'm not paying my cable bill for this month. So if you're not getting good water, healthy water that I can use, bathe, wash clothes with, whatever, drink, if I'm not getting that, I shouldn't have to. And this has been going on for 2 years. They need to wipe out those bills completely. Anything that anybody has had to pay, if they can prove it, then they should get refunded because that was a state decision and it put the citizens, the taxpayers at risk. The state will come and get them if they owe state money tax-wise, so the state needs to go ahead and track them down and give them their doggone money back. This isn't cool and it's not okay. Now they're taking people's kids because they're cutting the water off and they're saying that the homes aren't safe to live in and all that. It's so much shady stuff going on down there, and they're just not telling the rest of the world about it. It's not okay.
Yeah, I think it seems like there's a major lack of accountability there, which if no one's being held accountable, no one's stepping up, then it's going to be hard to get anything done, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a sad situation. What can we all do to contribute? Like, what can we do to contribute or to make a difference in Flint?
I would say this. I would say my best suggestion is if you do some research and there's reputable people that are donating body water. Now, I don't want to do what happened with Katrina and we donate a bunch of money and then they never see it. There's parts of Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, that still aren't even touched as if the hurricane went through there last week. And we sent all the money, and a lot of them residents didn't see any of it. A lot of those residents didn't see any of it. It's still flood lines, stains on the side of the house, 5 or 6 feet high. There's certain wards down in the ninth ward in Louisiana. It still looks bad over there, like it was just last week. And we don't want that in Flint, you know. So I would say maybe do your research, find out which organizations are actually, you know, doing the work, which organizations are putting the water and putting the resources back into the hands of the people that need them. And because we also don't want is like churches or certain organizations hoarding the water. You know, there was a church or two up there that was keeping some of the donated water just for their church, just for their church members. That's not okay.
No.
It's not okay. It's a Flint thing. It's not a your church thing. It's not okay. So, you know, and it's a shame. That's embarrassing. But the truth will come out. So just do the research, find out people that are actually doing things like Alex _worldwide down in Atlanta. I rock with him. I'm sending them some money in a few days because I know they're going to run another truck up there in February, and they're probably going to run another truck up there in March. So, it doesn't make sense to pay $300 or $400 to ship $300 or $400 worth of water over there. I'd rather just send some money. They go buy the water from, you know, Kroger or Target or Walmart and all of that. And,
right. That's a lot more sensible.
you know, and he owns a truck, so he can ship it up there. And he's taking money, time, resources, and doing this for Flint. So, I definitely appreciate him for that. So just stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of people out there really trying to help. What's my name? Fat Farm, Russell Simmons.
Russell Simmons is doing a lot of work there.
He's going hard. He's going hard like he's.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work with the Flint water crisis. I've seen a lot of his posts about that.
Yeah,
so,
and I appreciate him. So.
Yeah, he's great. Well, thank you so much, Christian. Just a couple of, a few more questions. You have a couple more minutes?
I have one more question.
I gotta eat. I just got back from the gym, so
he's hungry. We can't starve him.
I can do a couple more questions.
Okay, all right. So so you're obviously super accomplished, but what is the one thing that you have not accomplished yet? Like, what would you like to achieve?
A wife and a daughter.
A wife and a daughter? Aww.
Yeah.
Okay, Linda
has
has
an amazing son, and by the grace of God, my son's mom and I, we've been apart for like years, 8, 9 years, or something like that.
Okay.
And we just decided a long time ago that, listen, it's best if we just, maybe 10 years, we've been apart for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
But we just decided it's best if we just focus on being teammates and not keep trying to force the relationship to work. And honestly, that was the best thing we could do. We've never had to go to friend of the court and that nonsense. I don't need any agency to tell me, that if I'm man enough to lay my naked ass down next time, then I need to get out and take care of him. So, I was blessed with that situation. But my next child is gonna be a girl, and I need to be married first. So that's next, on the non-professional side in my real life. That's what I want next. I got a lot of friends that are happily married, and it's a beautiful thing to see them glow with that, and I want some of that glow. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we won't hold you any longer, Christian. I know that you're hungry. You probably got to get some protein in your body. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Tell us, let everyone know where they can find you and support your projects and buy your movies, buy your books, watch your shows. Where can we check you out?
Okay, my real pages. These are my only real pages. I got so many catfish out there. It's annoying.
Oh, wow.
My only real Instagram and Twitter are my name, @Christian Keys. Christian like the religion, ChristianKeys. That's it, @Christian Keys.
Okay.
That's my only Instagram and my only Twitter. And my Facebook is the one that's verified. It's got the little blue check. It's Christian Keys official fan page. All the other ones are fake. Everyone. I'm not on Tags. I'm not on Black People Meet. I'm not on Christian Singles. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Tinder. I'm not on Kindle. I'm not whatever other sites is out there. I'm not on any of that other stuff. I get hit up all the time. Hey, thanks for adding me on Tinder. I'm not on Tinder.
Right, like that wasn't me, boo.
Yeah, sorry.
Those are all
Right.
Go try to meet up with
Somebody's
whoever's
playing you.
pretending to be-
Somebody wants
'Cause it ain't me.
some attention.
That's hilarious. All right, well, thank you so much, Christian. We really, really, really
Yes.
appreciate your time.
It is such an
You
honor to have you on our show,
yeah,
Christian.
you definitely didn't have to. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys
And
for having me, and I wish
anytime-
you guys continued success.
Thank you.
Thank
Anytime
you.
you have anything else coming up, going on, feel free to hit us up and give us a scoop.
I definitely will. You all have a wonderful night.
You
You
as
too.
well. Thank you. Good luck on your audition tomorrow.
Thank you much.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
That was
Christian Keys.
Christian Keys, you guys.
Oh my God.
I don't think you understand. I had a crush on this man for years.
How long?
I even got into an argument with somebody about it. The person I was dating.
Oh, he got mad
He
at
was
you
mad.
for
He was
having
mad.
a crush
for
on
having
you.
a crush.
Oh, so he felt threatened.
Yeah, I'm sure he feels threatened now.
He probably does.
I'm kidding.
I know you were just chopping it up on the phone with him for like an hour. Anywho, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Scoop with Ashley Marie, and
Linda Yin.
we appreciate you tuning in. Next week, we will be back at the same place, same time, 7:30 p.m.
Make sure you don't miss us next week.
Yeah, don't miss us next week. We have
All
some more goodness.
Some more goodness.
We're going to go ahead and close the show with Mr. Christian Key's song. And God bless. See you next week.
See you
Love
next
all.
week. Bye.
Bye.
I just want you around. Don't wanna change you. Do your thing, baby. I'ma hold you down. Like the way you rock with me. Love everything about you. I'm trying to make some major moves, but baby, I don't wanna make a move without you. 'Cause this could be real love, I'm thinking. Got me feeling like I'm drinking. Got me so high on your love. I never ever wanna come down. You and me like it's supposed to be. Together we are love. Possibly for eternity. Together we are love. With you is where I wanna be. Together we are love. Together we are love. Together we are love. We are love. I love you. Like the Prez and Michelle. Like Jada and Will. Like J.B. Is it cool if I love you like that? Like the Prez love Michelle. Like Jada and Will. Like J and B. Is it cool if I love you like that, baby? You and me like it's supposed to be. Together we are love. Possibly for eternity.